The night the storm rolled in, Anna Clark had no idea her life was about to change forever. It was the kind of cold that stung through wool, turned breath into smoke, and silenced even the wind in the trees. Most people in the small town of Brindlewood were nestled in front of fireplaces or under electric blankets, waiting for the blizzard to pass. But just as Anna was locking up for the night, she heard a sound that made her heart pause, a faint, desperate whimper from her front porch. At first, she thought it was the wind playing tricks, but it came again. Low. Fragile. Pained. Curious and concerned, she opened the door. The cold slammed into her like a wall, but she barely noticed, because right there on the welcome mat was a dog. A golden retriever, shivering uncontrollably, its fur soaked with snow and its paws raw and bleeding. Its brown eyes met hers, pleading, terrified. Without hesitation, Anna knelt down and scooped the animal into her arms. It was lighter than it should have been, far too light. She carried it inside, wrapped it in blankets, and called the local vet, Dr. Reynolds, who guided her through what to do until morning. She named him Rusty, not knowing why, only that the name felt right. For the next several days, Anna nursed Rusty back from the brink. He wouldn't eat at first. He barely moved. But every now and then, he would look at her, really look at her, as if trying to speak 1,000 silent words. She had never owned a dog. She wasn't even an animal person. But something about Rusty stirred a part of her heart that had gone quiet years ago, ever since the car accident that had taken her fiancé, Ryan. She'd built walls since then. Life became work, routine, and silence. But now, Rusty was breaking through that silence. One snowy morning, after about a week of slow recovery, Rusty did something that shocked Anna. He barked and ran to the front door, tail wagging like mad. It wasn't just a random burst of energy. It was purposeful. He scratched and whined, then looked at her expectantly. Curious, she opened the door. Rusty bolted out, but not in fear. He wanted her to follow. And so she did, slipping on boots and chasing him through the snow-covered path behind her house. Rusty led her through the woods, where the storm had toppled trees and blanketed everything in white. She was just about to call him back when he stopped abruptly and began barking, digging at a snowbank. She rushed over. What she saw made her gasp. Underneath the snow was a small wooden box, more of a crate, and inside it, another dog. This one was even worse off than Rusty had been. Barely breathing. Bones visible beneath its matted fur. Anna wrapped the poor creature in her coat and carried it back, her mind racing with questions. Why was this happening? Why were these dogs out here, in the middle of nowhere, left to die? That evening, she called the local authorities, and what unraveled over the next week shocked not just Anna, but the entire town. An investigation revealed that someone had been operating an illegal dog breeding and fighting ring just a few miles outside Brindlewood. When the operation was tipped off that authorities were closing in, they abandoned dozens of animals in the forest to avoid being caught. Most were caged or tied up, left to fend for themselves in the freezing wild. Rusty had escaped. But instead of running for safety and never looking back, he came to Anna's door, perhaps by accident, perhaps not. But what mattered was this: he remembered his friend. And once he was strong enough, he led her right to him. In the weeks that followed, Anna worked with a local rescue group to track down and save more of the dogs. Rusty became a hero in the town. Photos of him went viral online. People called him the Guardian Retriever. Donations poured in. A sanctuary was founded in the woods behind Anna's home, a haven for animals that had only known cruelty until now. But perhaps the most remarkable change was in Anna herself. The woman who had once closed herself off to the world was now a light in her community. Rusty had not only led her to save lives, he had led her back to her own. And one late spring afternoon, as Anna sat under the blooming dogwood trees, Rusty by her side and the sanctuary dogs playing nearby, she realized something. That frozen night hadn't been a coincidence. Rusty had come to her for a reason. The truth wasn't just about the horrors of what he escaped. The real truth, the shocking truth, was that sometimes, the ones we rescue are the ones who save us right back. And Anna would never forget it.